We're here to talk about Gravel Nationals. I've got Reid here, and I've got Kyle here. We're going to talk about how the race played out, because these guys actually got to start together. They're in different age groups, but this is Reid. He's 16. This is Kyle. He's 17, turns 18 soon, so he was in the 17 and 18 race. Reid was in the 15 and 16 race, right? Yeah. We're going to talk mostly the race breakdown, and then we will probably circle back with another 2 different videos, specifically with Reid, and talk about his bike, how things worked out there, what he'd do different, because we've discussed having some changes, didn't change them. We've discussed making some changes for Big Sugar, and so we'll kind of have another discussion about that if we have time, if we can get into it. And we'll do the same thing with Kyle. But to kind of break it down, Reid rode a Jamis Renegade with a 2-bi-mechanical 11-speed GRX system. And Kyle rode my time ADHX 45 with a mullet build, 46-tooth chainring in the front and a 10-52 cassette in the back. You guys both rode Conti Terra Speeds, right?
Yes.
And 45mm tires. Reid, you've been used to them. You've been riding them all year pretty much.
Yeah.
On and off. And then Kyle, you hadn't ridden them yet. We mounted them up like right before the race. Right?
Yeah, I had like one ride before it.
Yeah. So, but anyway, these guys had gone down and pre-rode it and decided they wanted a little more. Kyle decided he wanted a little more tire than you had.
The Strada Bianca 40s.
Yeah, 40 Strada, which lately the gravel around here, some of it's been kind of soft, and so they just haven't been as good of a tire for gravel this summer.
Yeah.
But you ride a lot of pavement around here, so. Anyway, we'll likely circle back on a bike-specific breakpoint on that, but that's just kind of give you an idea what bikes they were on. So back to the race. Gravel Nationals was in Crescent, Minnesota this year, and the juniors race was how many miles?
74.
74 miles. Let's talk about the course first. 5 big climbs?
Yeah, there's 5 big climbs.
Was there any flat area?
So there was 2 big climbs at the beginning, the first, 15, 20 miles. And then there was probably a stretch of 8-ish to 10 miles where it was flat-ish, but you were still just going up and down on
The course profile looked like 5 big climbs, up and down, maybe a little flat section between the 2 of them, but for the most part, you'd climb, bomb downhill, a couple miles later, start climbing another one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go through how things played out, because Reid, about 30 minutes before the start, we found an issue with your bike, right?
Yeah, there's a staple in the tire.
Pre-riding or just warming up, must have picked up something in the road. You rolled by the car. You're like, I got a big staple in my tire.
Yeah.
We pulled it out, and it looked like the staple must have went in sideways or something, because it put a decent hole in there, right?
Yeah.
We got it to seal, right?
Yes.
But it was spitting some sealant out when we first plucked it.
Yeah.
And then you hadn't actually refreshed your sealant or anything, because the tires weren't that old. We refreshed them right before the dam, remounted them.
Yeah.
But we probably, to do it again, would you have popped your tires off before the race, made sure everything was looking good on the inside?
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, what we ended up doing was, well, it's funny how it played out. So we went to just add some more sealant, because we lost a little sealant when it was trying to seal up, and then the valve plugged. But we used Vittoria sealant, and it can actually plug up pretty easy in the valve, just trying to put it in if you let it settle too much before you shoot it in. So we ended up popping the bead on the tire, right?
Yeah.
Cleaning the valve out, reseating the tire, and then it was sealed and no other issue.
Yeah, no, there's
Yeah. We dumped a mountain bike's worth of sealant in it and was like, send it. And then you basically were late getting into the start gates, right?
About like another, right when everyone went into the gate.
Got it.
We were at the back of it.
Basically the back of the gate. Okay. Yeah. Kyle, nice dude. He was hanging around, seeing if we needed any help with it. Anyway, you guys didn't get to line up together though, right? They still staged the 17 and 18 kind of in front of you guys?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like the 17, 18, and then it was the 15, 16.
And so I got confused because I thought then you guys were going to start separate maybe then. And so I actually did a live Facebook feed of the start, probably like a couple blocks away from the start after. And when you guys all went through together, I saw Kyle because he wears an bright orange Fox helmet. And then I missed Reid and I was like, oh, maybe Reid's starting. And then like 5 minutes went by and then the Masters guys went through. But you guys ended up rolling out together in the neutral rollout.
Yeah.
We'll get to this later in the race. Kyle went over the handlebars. Reid landed on top of him. So it was an eventful race that was 40-ish miles in. But at some point, you guys had hooked up and were riding together. Was that during the neutral rollout or once the race started?
The first time I saw Reid would have been our like first right-hand turn on the pavement during the neutral rollout.
How long was the neutral rollout?
The neutral rollout stopped once we got onto the main road, but the group kind of just stayed going the same pace till we basically took the left onto gravel, which would have been like the 5 miles an hour.
Nobody was really making any moves or anything in the first 5 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then was the first climb on that pavement? Or was it once you made a left onto gravel?
We took a left onto gravel, but then the gravel then turned to pavement when we got to the climb. Really just how steep it was.
So the first climb was on pavement.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then what happened there? Were you guys together at the bottom of the first climb?
Reid was actually like wheeler to ahead of me going into the climb.
Ooh. Had already made a move.
And then I rolled into the climb like towards the back of the group, and I pretty much used that first climb to try and get up the closer to the front of the group.
Did it play out for you?
Yeah, it worked out. Yeah.
Did you move up halfway through the group or?
Yeah, like halfway through.
Okay. How about you? What was your first climb strategy?
Wasn't really much of a strategy. I kind of got stuck on the right edge and then kind of was on like the angled side trying to like get back in and kind of was slowly fading a bit, but
Okay.
yeah.
So what happened on that climb? Did Kyle end up out in front of you then? Or did you work your way up halfway or so like Kyle did?
I think I made some spots back up.
Did you go into it kind of near the back? If you were only a couple wheels in front of Kyle.
I think I was near the back and then had the outside line.
When did you get caught in on the inside and the right?
When it was kind of like slightly turning to the right, I think.
Got it.
Yeah, it turned to the right
The
to go
climb
up the
did.
climb. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then did it blow up at the front of the group on the climb?
The first climb, no, it actually, like, the group pretty much just stayed all intact. There's definitely, like, people coming off the back of the group.
Okay.
But the group was, like, no one really was trying to attack out of the climb. Everyone was pretty much going the same pace.
Then how was the first descent?
It was fast. It was real fast.
Was it on pavement or gravel?
Gravel. It was a gravel downhill. I think I was probably doing in the high 30s to, yeah, maybe hit 40 on it.
I saw on your guys' Strava as your top speed was in the 40s.
Yeah, I think that was on a pavement one later on.
Okay. All right. At what point did things start to break up? Like, because you had climb number 2. Actually, let's stop. Let me log into my Strava. It looks like the second climb, mile 20, was partially into the base of the second climb. And as I look at the profile, it's not really too much flat between the two climbs. You kind of back up a little hill and then back down. You guys were still together around mile 20, right? Or had you separated and then because I know mile 40 you reconnected physically in a crash, but like, yeah. So tell me, at some point, right, the pack had to start breaking apart.
Yeah, so were you with the main group on the start of the second climb?
I don't think I was. I think I kind of faded on the downhill.
Got it.
Chicken.
A little bit.
But basically, at the second climb was where everything blew apart. The lead group was all over the place.
So the heavy hitters attacked at the second climb.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, at the start of it, I was definitely not in great position. I was at the back again.
How about you?
Toward the back, yeah.
Yeah.
I made up some spots going up the climb, and then, then everyone started blowing up, and then I pretty much got slotted into like a group of 3. We got to
Where at in the pack? Because in your race, was there 50-some kids?
Yeah.
Like 58, 56 or something. And in your race, was there 30-ish?
26 maybe?
26-ish or something like that?
Yeah.
That finished, or like there was somewhere around there, right?
Yeah, somewhere.
26 to 30. So where were you then at the top of that second climb within the group?
It was hard to see because there was groups all the way up the climb.
At this point, it was pretty blown apart.
It
With groups of 3 guys. type of
Yeah,
thing.
I think maybe prior to that, there might have been like 30 to 50
Yeah.
kids in the group.
Do you think you were mid-pack still, or probably behind mid-pack? Because we know where you finished at, but
I think I was mid-pack, maybe a little bit more than mid-pack at that time.
okay. So then, between the second and third climb, looking at the profile, there's a bigger distance there, but it looks like a lot of little mini ups and downs. And then I'm gonna look at the Strava profile. So you guys riding together kind of at this point then? No?
Now,
Are you even aware of where the other guy's at?
at the start of the second climb, I had no idea where
Got
it
it.
was.
Yeah. So now we're between the second and the third climb. Third climb's like 30 some miles in. It's kind of all spread apart yet. At what point did the 50 plus guys catch up to you guys?
The leaders would have came by me like halfway up the third climb.
Okay. All right.
And that's when I started getting Kyle in my sights.
So Kyle was out in front of you at that point?
Yeah.
All right. So then when did you reel Kyle back in?
I made a lot of time on him on the hill, and then,
The third climb?
yeah, and close it down on the quick flat at the top.
Okay. So Reid, well, actually, both these guys are really good climbers. Reid has a really good sprint in a quick acceleration and peak power. Kyle's like a diesel engine, just keep cranking away. So your guys' power profiles are definitely different power profiles. And you weigh close to the same. Kyle, you're a little heavier.
I think we're actually like the same now.
You're about the same now. Kyle's FTP's a little higher. We haven't done an actual FTP test in a little while. But based on workouts and intervals and like riding, it still seems like your steady state power is still a little higher than Reid's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your sprint you drop more power than Kyle in the sprint, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in man, I can't remember which race it was. Oh, at the Shawamagon.
Yeah.
Which we should do a recap of that.
Yeah.
The Shawamagon, I'm gonna call it check 40. I keep thinking I'm gonna get that right, and I don't. You had said that you knew you wanted to get a gap on Reid going to the finish line because you thought he'd get you in a sprint.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So was it something at the top of the third climb then? Then you used that to catch Kyle,
Yeah.
type of thing, and then you guys were coming down the backside of it together. But
Yeah.
the third climb looks like once you got up there, you were kind of up for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Flat and then drop down
Yeah.
into another valley.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're coming down the other side of that, then mile 40-ish, is that where the muddy double track was at, where the incident happened?
So the incident probably would have happened.
Kyle went over the handlebars.
It would have been all the way at the bottom of the climb, basically at the bottom, at the base in the valley.
At the bottom of the hill?
Yeah,
Like,
like-
coming back down?
Yeah, because basically
Got it.
we reconnected where pretty much on the pavement that we started the race on.
Got it. And that's that one little town you reconnect back through.
Yes.
I know where that's at. I remember looking at the map for a little bit, and their Garmin tracking didn't kick me the tracking email, but then you had your phones on you, and so then we got our family kind of phone follow plan, and then I could see their phones were separating, and it looked like Kyle was still. So could just be updates or whatever, right? But then at some point I realized, I was like, no, Kyle stopped for some reason. Something happened. And then obviously as the parent, then I'm like getting all nervous. I had in that time decided to drive out down some back road that came out on a part of the course that they would ride by. So I was waiting, and then that's when I realized Reid came by, and we'll circle back to the crash details, but Reid came by and there was no Kyle. And when I was there, I could tell the group was blown apart because Reid was, I don't think you were with anybody in your age group at that time. And in front of you, you had basically gotten overtaken by some of the Masters guys, right?
Yeah.
About right there, right? Because you were just a little bit off the back of them when you came by.
Yeah.
And then it was, I was thinking Kyle was like a mile and a half back, but it was 5 minutes. At least at that point, in hindsight. So anyway, tell me what was going on. So, because when I saw Kyle come by, and he was covered in mud, and then I have a pretty good idea the way they pedal and their posture on the bike after something's happened, or when they're frustrated or something like that. I can just tell there's a little distress, and then when he came by, I could just see the whole backside of him was just covered in like pure mud, not like splashed in a mud hole type of thing, but landed in one type of deal. So yeah, what was going on? You probably have the best perspective because you watched it happen, right?
Yeah.
Kyle went down in front of you, but like, what was such a mess about this section of the trail? Because I don't think there was. Most of it was gravel roads, right?
Most of it was gravel road. It was kind of 2-track, and then kind of like hard packed dirt, and then all of a sudden mud came out of nowhere, and then Kyle's front wheel kind of like swerved to the left, and then his back didn't move, and then flipped, and then of course I'm flipping too.
Were you crashing because you were crashing, or you crashed because you were trying to avoid Kyle and then ended up, or just he crashed in front of you and you hit him? Don't know.
Not quite sure.
All I know is I went one way, my bike went the other way.
Yeah. So at the finish line, they hadn't connected yet, and I went up to Reid and I was like, "Hey, were you with Kyle when he crashed, or were you already in front of him?" And Reid's like, "I landed on him." Anyway, but yeah, so Kyle bent his front wheel with that, and both of them finished the race with mud sticking out of their shifters and whatever, and their shifters bent over on the bars, and like you both went down. But you got up and were able to keep going pretty quick. Kyle, you said you laid there for a little bit.
Yeah, so pretty much instantly when I hit the ground, my legs were like feeling fine, and then I like went to try and get up, but then they just any movement to try and get up off the ground, my legs were just locked up, and they like I couldn't get up, so I was just like just laying there.
But your cramps.
Yeah.
And like finally the effort you had been putting in caught up with you again.
Yeah, and then like I was just stuck on the ground and I couldn't really get up because my legs were locked up. And then once I was finally able to get up, I looked at my bike and my handlebars were super crooked and my shift lever was bent over.
Right. So yeah, Reid had told me Kyle said something about sliding out, and this is just, brotherly commentary on the way back from the race. Something about Kyle sliding out, and then Reid's like, slid out, went over the handlebars, and your bike went flying. But anyway, and then Reid had some funny comment about aiming for his body instead of his head or something like that.
I was going to cream his head and like plastic trying to like avoid it.
He was trying to help you out. So anyway, after that, so I saw you guys come by, like, I think I was close to mile 50, and then I jumped in the car and I made it over to, I guess it would have been the last aid station spot. And Reid was coming through there solo, and you were out in front of Kyle, and I feel like Kyle might have closed down some of the gap a little bit. Yeah. But what were you feeling at that point? Because I think you still had another 15 to 20 miles to go. I don't know if you remember seeing me there. You kind of coming up a dirt road and made a left on some pavement.
I can't remember what happened after that.
You didn't hit your head, did you?
No.
Yeah. Probably not supposed to joke. But, yeah. So what was really the next eventful part of the course? Because I didn't hear you guys talk much about the course until the end part, right? Like you said, it was a little cyclocrossy or something like that.
Yeah.
5 miles from the finish. Is that the next kind of eventful part of the course?
So there's the fourth climb, which was the fourth climb was just really, it was the longest climb, I believe, of the whole race.
Yeah, looking at the profile, as far as like continuous climb, yeah, they're all about the same, but that one does look like it's probably the most continuous, steady grade. Yeah. And I think you do at the very end of it, flattens out a bit, and then at the end, then it kicks up again, and you probably go to the highest point on the course.
Yeah, it was pretty steep, but nothing was very eventful. It just kept the same pace and just made your way up it.
So there's a double track or something at the end that you guys discussed, and I can see in the profile there's like a kicker at the end, kind of as you come back through town. They brought you into town and then kicked you over across the park or something?
Yeah, they basically kicked us across into, I believe there's some local park area around there.
Okay.
So they sent us through kind of it looked kind of like a walking path, but it was like crazy steep. You pretty much had to be just sprinting the whole time to make it up.
All right, battery died. So picking up where we left off, did either of you didn't ride it, right? Did you make it up?
I started to. Legs started burning really bad, and then there's a bunch of people walking it anyway, so just got off and walked it.
Shout out to Isaiah Johnson, local, really strong gravel rider. He did the dam. He's done the dam a couple times. He's pretty strong mountain biker as well. But you were with him on that climb, and you said he dropped you on it because he rode the whole thing.
Yeah, he was the only one in our group of 10 or so that made it up.
Awesome. Nice job, Isaiah, if you see this. So, anyway, and then that was about it, right? Then you dropped into town, kind of downhill on some pavement?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I could see you way up the road. I was trying to look for Reid on the tracker because I couldn't see him up there. I got to get Reid one of those orange helmets that Kyle has. Reid's got the black helmet. He wants to stick with black. But, and then I kind of almost missed him coming into the finish. And, but anyways, I did get Reid on camera coming through the finish, but I almost missed him. And then Kyle, you came through Reid just under 4 hours, right? It's like 3:59 something.
Yeah.
So, and you were 18th place out of the 15, 16-year-old group?
Yes.
Awesome. Congrats. And there was 20-some that finished or something, maybe 26 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Kyle, you were 5 minutes behind Reid?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So then you finished 45th or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
45th, 46 something?
Yeah.
And then was there 50-some finishers in the 17 and 18?
Yeah, I don't know
Got it.
the real amount.
Got it. So
But it was somewhere.
was it specific instances where Reid, it sounds like you might have just kind of faded through it a few spots, or maybe the crash point was maybe where you dropped back a few spots and then that was kind of sit in that settle in that same place for the last half of the race then?
I think so, because it's hard to say, because first crashed with Kyle, and then I got back on and then went down 2 more times, so probably faded a couple more times there.
Got
and then kind of maintained, I think.
Okay. And then Kyle, you were there, you probably lost a few places, but your group would have been kind of ripping faster than Reid's age group anyway. So you were probably, when you did go down, you were probably already further back than mid-pack anyway, right?
Yeah, because I think the people who were in the group were finished. I think one of them finished like 31st or something.
Okay. Yeah. So you were somebody you were probably sitting up there 30 something or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, but anyway, this was your guys' first USAC race, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think of and two-part question, I guess. So I guess, and to prelude that, this was your first USAC race. You've done other gravel races. So what other gravel races have you done?
Badlands. We did the Badlands. We have done.
A couple times?
Yes, we've
Yeah.
done Badlands twice, and then we've done Freedom twice, and then we've done what is it? The Dam.
You did the Dam. Yeah. And you guys basically both have done all those races.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and those are all kind of grassroots races or whatever. Like, what did you think about the USAC race environment? What did you like about it? And then we'll talk about what did you not like about it. So, what did you like about that environment?
It was nice because like at all the turns that you made in it, there was someone there telling you if it like pointing you where to go, and then they were also like stopping traffic and stuff. Yeah, so that was definitely nice.
Probably safer.
Yeah, so it
Yeah.
was definitely safer.
There's a couple gravel races I've done where it seems to get a little interesting at intersections with people not wanting to slow down, and then they're totally open courses. So,
Yeah.
I mean, this was an open course, but at the intersections were controlled.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So anything else that you liked about basically probably like a more organized atmosphere and maybe a professional looking finish line, that type of thing? Does any of that matter to you, or was it?
It was nice.
It was nice.
Yeah.
Nice environment. So, would you want to do more USAC races? Like, would it lead you to want to do some more, maybe a couple of the USAC gravel races next year, or even like do some USAC mountain bike races? Because you guys have never even done any USAC mountain bike races, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. You guys have a lot of mountain bike races.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just not USAC ones, right?
Yeah.
The state of Minnesota, our mountain bike series in Minnesota does not use USAC. We have our own organization. It's kind of more low key grassroots. Is there anything you did not like about the race?
I don't necessarily know of something in particular. I mean, Reed, is there anything for you?
I can't necessarily think of something.
So normally the other gravel races you guys have done, it's a mass start with all age groups, right? And so you're starting with, I mean, we've started races together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this race, you basically started with a whole pack. I mean, well, between your two age groups, there was 80 to 90 of you, right?
Yeah.
All within 15 to 18 years old. Was that cool, or did it not matter?
Oh, it was cool. It was the first race where there was actually like a group for a while. Like
Yeah.
all the other races that we've done, it's been like pretty much like right off the get go. It's like 10 people go.
I don't know. Freedom 106. Well, we didn't do it this year, but the previous year, we were an hour in before it blew up.
Got it?
Yeah. It was. We were pretty strung out though in a line,
Yeah.
maybe too wide. So, but Badlands blows up immediately,
Yeah.
right on like a half a mile in. You go uphill and it blows apart. Plus, there's just not nearly as many racers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like we were like 4 or 5 wide for like for like forever.
Okay. Yeah. So that makes a difference. So, anyway, am I missing anything?
No.
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 Anything else you guys want to say?
No, I think
No.
that covers it.
Yeah, that covers it.
Would you think about doing it again next year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you got to travel for it?
Yeah. I think it's in Minnesota next year though.
Seriously?
Yeah. I believe it was 2025 and 2026.
Sweet. Well, yeah. We'll be there. So, yeah, why not? Well, that's awesome. Where is it in Minnesota next year?
The Crescent, same place.
Same place?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They were gonna host it for 2 years.
Got it. It's I will say, just because I've been around a lot of race environments, and I can't remember specifically USAC races because I just haven't been around them. I've been to I've done some crit races, but that's a different totally. That's pretty grassroots, regardless, even if it's a USAC race. And I've been to like local road races. This is going back like 10 years ago. So, but they're not a big stage kind of event type of thing. That pretty grassroots run. You're just using USAC rules. The atmosphere of the race, I mean, if you look at the course profile, it seems like a great place to actually run it, right? Because it's not at elevation. So, like, if you were going to do a gravel race out somewhere at elevation, all the low flatlanders, that's a different race atmosphere, right?
Yeah.
And then it's, Minnesota is not exactly central, but southern Minnesota is kind of central to, I guess a lot. It's more central than a lot of places you could have it at. I think, was it in Nebraska last year? Or I can't remember.
I think it was Nebraska.
Yeah. So anyway, seemed like a really great place to have it. I think it was pretty well organized, and the town seemed to be pretty inviting to have it as well. So they have a festival and whatnot going on. So yeah, that's awesome. I didn't realize that. So cool. But anyway, if you got any questions, hit us up at the shop, leave a comment, and I would like to, if we have time, go through like a bike thing. And so let us know if there's something specifically you want us to cover, if we do some individual quick, like 5-minute bike reviews with the guys on their bikes, because they still have a couple more races this year. They are going to be doing the Little Sugar mountain bike race, and then the Big Sugar gravel race. And Reid thinks it's funny when I can't talk. And so I do believe we're going to potentially make some changes. Kyle might be on a totally different bike, actually. I just don't know if it's going to happen in time. We have a 9er ORE frame coming that we're going to build up, and Kyle's going to give us some review, like, why not try something new out at a race. So we'll be getting that bike. If we get it together and everything comes, it'll get together just in time for the race. And then Reid's gonna probably run the same rig. I think you're gonna run the Renegade.
Yeah.
Yeah. And more to come on that. Like, if we switch this to a 1x, I think we run into some chainring clearance issues on. If you switch it to a 1x, you kind of want to go big chainring, kind of like over here. And this won't fit on that frame. So you may stick with your 2x.
Probably.
Yeah. So, but I think we got to switch tires up for
Yes.
Bentonville. We got to run something a little more rugged. And then Reid's, his tires are kind of toast at this point anyway. So, the Terra Speeds, they roll fast, but they wear out fast as well. So, but anyways, thanks for tuning in. Hit us up if you need anything. Got any comments, questions? Let us know. Later.